Well, half a chance here for Lee if he can knock in one good red. Could get himself right back in this frame. It wasn't to be though, and that should be 3-2, although it's not a gimme for Trump by any means.
Just come back to that shot actually, Phil. As a friend used to say to me, unlucky for the gold wristwatch, take a goldfish. You can order that taxi now if you want.
Well, the red stays out, so there's still a bit of snooker to be played here.
A little fortunate to cover this red near the left-hand corner, but I think Lee can see this one near the green pocket. Well, he can play a safety off it anyway, but Judd's got away with 1 or 2 here actually towards the end of this frame. Still got a commanding lead. I don't know whether he can pot this. If not, you'll just hold the white at that end. Well, then that needs to run on. Just 59 on the table, 55 in the frame. Wow. What about that one? If anything, it's his safety that's let him down here so far today.
It's felt like a casual performance from Trump today.
Good point.
Whether he's struggling with the conditions, we know that it's pretty humid out there in the arena. But he hasn't really shown a great deal of concentration. His safety certainly has been below par. That's cost him a couple of frames. And this one's not over. Enough points for Lee to pinch it, and the balls aren't particularly badly placed. Can certainly get right back in the frame here.
That was unlucky. He just nudged the red away from the cushion a little bit more, but it could have finished better. But I think he's okay, actually. I think he can drop this in for the black or the pink. Well, the pink especially from that angle. Good pot.
70.
Nice cannon as well. Well, this could really unfold here because he's got the perfect angle to bring the yellow into play and stay on the red. And all of a sudden, within another shot here, this could be a chance to make it 4-1. I'll go back to that word that you used to actually feel casual. Casual performance from Judd Trump. I think you're right. In fact, I know you're right. Well, I'm very surprised that he didn't try and nudge the yellow more into the middle of the table there. He would have been on the red, but chose to play it the other way.
Key shot coming up then. This is not easy with the rest. In fact, he elected not to play it. And it's a pretty good consolation prize. Full ball snooker. And Lee is very much back in this frame. Yes, he trails by 32 points, but there are 35 left, and he's got Trump in some trouble here.
That was a good shot, wasn't it?
And not much margin of error for Trump. It's one thing hitting the red, it's another thing leaving it safe, and he hasn't even hit it. And he's left it.
Well, surely the miss should be called. Snooker not required. This should be called a miss.
Well, you would imagine that Lee would have queried that. He can pot the red. It's a thin cut. Elected not to play it, but yes, that's a puzzle.
Why was that not called a miss?
It's a bit of a mystery because
there's only 32 in it with 35 on.
Yep.
The snooker wasn't required.
Clearly it would have been beneficial for Lee for the balls to be replaced. It was a tricky one for Trump to get out of, not only to escape from but to leave safe with the colours bar the yellow on their spots. And now it's Trump who has the snooker.
He's got away with that. Well, I think Brendan Moore, I mean, he's normally not, he's a very good referee, Brendan Moore, but I think he's missed that one. I think that miss, that should have been called a miss.
You would have expected Lee, though, to query it, wouldn't you?
Well, he didn't, did he? So, you know, in the sort of everything that's going on, the pressure of the match and everything like that, obviously you try and keep a clear mind, but if it had been called a miss, it would have gone back.
Well, another potentially big moment because Lee had become favourite with the balls placed as they were. If Trump does win this frame, things are very different, but he's not won it yet. He's continuing to struggle, is the ace in the pack. It's just not happened for him today so far.
I'm just going back to that miss situation, actually. Well, I'm just thinking about the scoreboard. I think the scoreboard's right. When that last red was on and Judd, as regards the miss, I know it's gone now. But anyway.
Well, according to the scoreboard we're looking at on screen now, the difference is 28. A moment ago it was 32.
Yeah, with one red left, so it should have been called a miss. Anyway. Still a chance here for Lee Hang to pinch this frame, make it 4-1. It's gone for the double. It's not far away. Well, that's okay, but he hasn't landed on a colour. And now it's 27. The difference with 27 on. Does he lay the snooker? Does he play the black? Didn't really want that in, of course. It would have been a good snooker. Might try and pot this. Mile away.
Behind one.
I thought he might have just laid the snooker there, actually. But he can still tie with all of the 6 colours.
Not ideally placed, though, now, by any means. That was a slightly unusual shot as well. Well, clearly there are issues with the scoreboard here. It's the only possible explanation. Not quite sure what's gone on here because, according to the scoreboard we're looking at, there were enough points there for Trump to tie. There was no way that Lee Hang would have conceded that frame had that scoreboard been correct. So we can only assume there's been a malfunction. Anyway, it's now 3-2 to Lee Hang.